It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Just acknowledge it, knowledge with no scholarships. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. Breaking everything down, tech to politics. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. We don't tell you what you want, we just give you what you need. It's Topic Thunder, it's Topic Thunder. News, brews, and views from these Chi-Town streets. Topic Thunder.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. It's Topic Thunder. Welcome in, ladies and folks and gents and them, they, theirs. I'm a he, his, something like that. I actually he, him, his is what my pronouns would be, and that actually might come into play later on in the program. I don't know, just to put it out there, folks. But yes, we welcome you into the Free Speech Network. It's Topic Thunder, folks. We call ourselves the Internet Saloon, and we offer a place to have honest conversation while Ben and I pour the topics into your glass. Where does that conversation take place, Ben?
In the world's most dangerous chat room, right here.
I went the.
Oh, you went the wrong way.
Oh, I think my camera's playing goofy on me. But hey, yes, it's that way because it was supposed to be that way, but now it's that way. But
the real stars of the show, the world's most dangerous chat room.
And we call it the Thunderdome, folks, and that comes into play later too. So stick around. And if you're just joining us, or maybe the first time, and we'll get to that maybe a little bit too. We welcome you in. What the.
Ma Jordan tuning in from Hawaii. Yes, on vacation.
All right. So first of all, it's probably like 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. out there right now, something like that. What are you doing tuning in? I mean, we
maybe she's on the beach.
It,
I hope she's on the beach, just on her phone or something. But
that would. I hope so. But I mean, I hope you're enjoying yourself, Ma Jordan. At 2 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, 2 o'clock. Oh gosh. But we hope you're enjoying yourself for heaven's sakes, and a well-deserved vacation, might I add. So that's good. But yeah, we're already filling up in the old the chat room right now. So if you're checking us out on YouTube or Twitch, the Facebook, wherever else you might find us, there's some illegal streams that we're not. But yeah, see, okay, you're having a what?
You're having a cocktail.
She's having a cocktail. Well. Yeah. I can't think of a better segue than anything else. We went back to our friends at Pipeworks Brewery, Ben. They of the Ninja versus Unicorn can.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, before you get into that.
Oh yeah.
I have a drink related story, which I never do.
You never do.
I never do, but I have a drink related story. So, let me let the music. You know, I'm not much of a drinker. It's not really my thing. But recently I took my lovely wife, Adrienne, out for a date to one of our favorite restaurants, Claraboya. And we decided, you know what? We're going to have some drinks tonight. We never do that. We're going to have some drinks tonight. And so she decided she wanted to drink. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have some drinks too. And so we sit down and she orders a blueberry raspberry spritzer something, right?
Okay, right, all right.
And I'm looking at the menu and I'm reading over everything. And you know, I've told you before, those that are with us a long time, me and brown liquor are not friends. Have not been since I was 16 years old, and I took 16 shots of wild turkey in one sitting. And got sicker and drunker than I've ever been in my entire life. And I cannot even smell brown liquor without being transported right back to that moment. And so me and brown liquor do not get along, right? So I'm sitting there looking at the list, and I'm trying to find something that is either vodka or tequila related that I like, but the options are kind of weird, and I can't decide, right? And the waitress is kind of putting pressure on me, right? Right, and she's like, well, and she just blurts out, "Well, we make a good old fashioned." And I was like, "All right, fine, I'll do that." I gave into peer pressure, and I was like, "All right, I'll try that." And immediately I was like, what did I just do?
just
and Adrian looks at me and
into
she's
a
like,
world
you're
much larger than yourself.
yeah. If I remember correctly, she basically looked at me and was like, you are going to not like that. And I was like, well, maybe it's been over almost 2 decades since I've had brown liquor. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my brain is like playing tricks on me, and let's give it a shot. Maybe it won't be so bad, right? So she brings the drinks, and wife has the raspberry, blueberry, or whatever it is spritzer, and I take not even a full sip of that old fashioned, and I'm like, instantly horrified. Like I almost spit it out. It was so bad. And I swallowed. I'm like, this is awful. And immediately she's like, well, do you want to trade? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And so I took her fucking raspberry, blueberry fucking spritzer deal and had that. And she had the old fashioned, and that it was. She even admitted it was strong. So it was well made but strong, and that just not my drink at all. That said, right? That all being said, I did have for the first time ever a Chilton.
What is a Chilton?
It is a Lubbock thing, apparently.
Okay.
And it is vodka, lemon, and soda.
That sounds like
Very basic.
Yeah, for sure.
And it tastes like lemon water.
Yeah, I mean, we make that like. I mean, everybody has some kind of thing they do something like that, right? But
okay. And so here it's called a Chilton. It's very famous. My Adrian loves them. When we go out, she normally orders one. I've never had one before. They're delicious. Got to have the salted rim.
That makes a difference. That puts that savory kind of
It's excellent. And Tito's only. It's a Texas vodka, but yeah. It is.
Tito's. We have a bottle of Tito's here in the
Tito's is very, very good.
Absolutely, and it's a great story too. I don't know if they've sold out or anything like that, but the original story of the dude just like brewing it in his garage or whatever is right. America.
Yep. So there's my drink
don't
story.
Like an
I rarely have a drink story, but there you go.
I would have thought that would have been this is the sweetness, because there's an old fashioned supposed to be a sweet.
It tasted
drink.
like cinnamon, and I almost threw up.
Okay, so there. All right. I mean, all right. Next time you're up in these parts, we are going to go to where I can guarantee you will get a Brooks approved old fashioned. If you don't like it, I'll be happy to just move it over to my side.
Sweet. There you go. It was not sweet.
See, it's done right. There's some bitters put in. There's some either like simple syrup or some sugar, and it's stirred like for minutes.
Interesting.
Minutes. Like you're sitting there like, what's that guy doing? Making eggs? No, he's stirring your drink and getting all of that that sugary sweetness to mix in with, again, like the better the bourbon sometimes, or there's different recipes for like an old fashioned, but they all involve some form of whiskey. Most of them start with a bourbon, so you already kind of have something that's semi-sweet as opposed to like an Irish whiskey, which is like just a sucker punch to the face. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go out there on a limb and say you probably didn't have a very well crafted old fashioned.
Fair enough, but brown liquor is gross. I can't do it.
Well,
there you go. Over to you. Hey. So, beer. There was a brewery that we're familiar with here on the show.
Yeah, Pipeworks Brewery out of Chicago here. This great old town have come up with a beer which we found out to send you the link. We had to go to their website, right? And they don't necessarily have a big advertising platform, so you just have to go to their store. This beer is called Dawn of the Shed. As you can clearly see, it is sold out. So this is rare stuff already. But what this is celebrating the very, very famous Chicago icon known as the Morton Salt Shed, which had historic value. I think it was a landmark. So they couldn't, especially the roof, it just said like Morton on it. It was very visible.
Yeah,
if you lived in Chicago, iconic, you've driven past it a billion times and not noticed it. But if it was gone, it would have been a thing like, why'd you call it the Willis Tower? No, it's a Sears Tower. And we Chicagoans like to hold on to our things like that. So they turned it into a music venue.
Really? Very cool.
Yes, and there's a website for it. I was checking it out, showing a coworker, because this Friday, Gigi and I are going to join Lockport Joe and his lovely bride to go see a band called Goose.
Oh, big fan.
Are you?
Joe turned me on to them. They're so fucking good, man.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying their stuff since he mentioned it, and he basically sent a text that said, "Hey, if you're interested," he's been talking about it for a little bit.
I'm so jealous.
I'm excited to not only see the venue, which I guess it has like this. It's right up against the river too, so there's like this where all like the stores are, and beer shops and food little places are right next to the river, and then you walk into this beautiful place that I was trying to explain it to like a coworker.
They're very Grateful Dead-ish, very jam bandy Grateful Dead-ish.
I different generations, so I explained it as like a Fish type thing, but I was like, they add elements of funk. Like the bass player is
they're very talented.
A very talented person, because they can pluck it to make it sound like it was straight 70s funk vibe. And then there's like electronic elements to it too. So it's not just your typical like you think like a Fish or Grateful Dead. There are some like hip hop and electronic elements in it. Goose is fun.
Yeah, they're very fun.
Good stuff if you're like just like walking around the day.
It's great background music.
Yeah. So Fish 2 for sure. And do they play them on XRT? Of course they play them on XRT. The XRT is a legend, like one of the last cool actual radio stations in existence ever, probably at this point. But
shout out to Lockport Joe for turning me on to these.
Yeah, shout out to Lockport Joe for turning me on. I should flip my camera because that's probably the wrong way being displayed. But
it is backwards, but that's okay. Yeah, I have it up on the screen. So
it's goofy. I'm a goofy guy. But we'll do that, and I can fix anything at a click of a finger. So Dawn of the Shed, this is my first attempt at this, and I've never had it before, and apparently it's sold out. So we're going to sell the rest on eBay shortly after the show.
Sell the rest on eBay.
We got to recoup the costs of putting us on the air here. But truth of the matter is, as we always do on this show, folks, we have a toast. We have a toast to our friends and our conversations. So here's to you, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in Nostrovia. All
right. Let's fucking do
it. Wait. Hold on. I got something. Speaking of friends, right? There is a very special announcement, and we're gonna hype this again. But yeah.
Oh yes, we do have a. I got ahead of myself.
We've been teasing this a little bit. We've played some promos, and he's actually a participant in the Thunderdome, and he'll probably join us in a little bit. But now it's the right way. See, now that I flip my camera, now it's the right way.
There you go. Everything was looking a little wonky earlier. I was like, did he move his spot to somewhere new? No.
I got some new display cases. We moved things around a little bit. Yeah. So there's going to be some what I call action figures. You might call toys. They're going to be going up. So yeah, our good friend Billy Wack.
Yes,
dear friend of mine, creative genius, legend in the indie wrestling circuit, and
former roommate of mine. Yes,
yes, absolutely. OBT alumni, which is yes, if you survived OBT, which at least one of us didn't, you get a graduate, an honorary emeritus degree in less than 2 weeks. My friend Billy Wack is going to put on let's loosely call a wrestling show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be dead honest with everybody right now. Sure, I know a couple of things, maybe you don't, but I don't know much more than that. That's right. On purpose. I'm super stoked about this. And what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is Night of the Super Wrestlers. It's April 23rd at the Concord Music Hall. So get your tickets. I would assume they're going fast, so get them as soon as you can if you haven't already. I'm going to be there. Gigi's going to be there. I'm pretty sure CJ Mito, who is also a participant in the Thunderdome, will be there. And from what I'm being told, this might be a who's who, a luminary event of the Chicago.
I'm so jealous. I want to be there so bad, but
yeah, it's almost a show for the boys in the most. I don't know how to put. I don't know. Like it is. Like
I mean, the minds that put this thing together are some of the most creative minds that I've ever met in my entire life. So I anticipate that it will be a spectacle. It'll be an absolute spectacle that will have wrestling at its base, but that will not be the primary focus. We're talking about characters here. You're going to watch a show. If you're looking for work rate, I don't know that this is the right wrestling show for you. But if you're looking for a spectacle and a show and almost like live action theater in the truest sense, that's what this feels like to me. Not knowing much about just the way it's been advertised, it feels like live action theater, which with wrestling as its backdrop, which sounds very fun.
That's what it sounds like to me. And again, just knowing what I do know about it, calling it sports entertainment would be doing it dirty. Because it's not. It's wrestling theater.
Yeah.
You know what? We have the latest trailer, and I want to play that for you before making a very special announcement.
You never sent that to me.
Oh, I never did. Well, that just some intern just lost their gig.
Yeah.
But okay. So I'll make the special announcement while I'm farting around here for this.
Well, yeah, I can do that while you're doing that.
Right on, please.
So obviously Billy Wacka, you'll see him in the comments sometimes. He almost always is a participant for the lightning round, even if he's not here in the early moments of the show. He always seems to pop up for the lightning round and make sure he votes there. But Billy Wack is going to be joining us next week, sitting in the entire show with us. I am so excited about this. It is going to be so much fun to get his opinion on some stories that we talk with, and the three of us together, man. The three of us haven't got to sit down and jive and joke and have a good time together in fucking. It feels like forever. It feels like since Denver. Is the last time. So
because, well, to be honest with you, the last time you were in town, it was literally like a blow through, breeze through kind of deal. So yeah, it could have literally been Denver in 2016. So
I'm super hyped about that.
Yeah, this is it's going to be really cool because obviously we are going to talk a lot about the super wrestlers, and did you get the link? Program and the fly.
If you send it through Facebook, no, I did not.
No, are you kidding? Who am I sending it to? That's
You're probably sending it to the other Ben.
You know who I'm sending it to? Ryan Hansen.
Nice.
Yes.
Ryan Hansen's like, why does he keep sending me this?
Because Ryan Hansen is a frequent contributor.
Major
contributor to the show. And I just sent him the last two links because I'm pulling links from Ryan Hansen's chat and not sending them to Ben. So shame on me for messing that up. Ryan Hansen gets a free shot at the preview of the show. But this is the latest trailer, ladies and gentlemen, for Night of the Super Wrestlers.
At 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, multiple unidentified objects were confirmed to have entered Earth's atmosphere.
CM Venom. Gentlemen, my name is Catalyst Tambor. I have spoke of opportunity. An opportunity I shall deliver.
I don't quite understand what this guy wants from us.
Why us?
I am Vlad Black, Team Vampire. America, it's time we had a talk.
Ironically, time is of the essence.
We're not gonna need a belt.
But I offer you the opportunity to create art.
It seems like this whole wrestling thing is cursed. These wrestlers keep disappearing. Some of them never even existed.
What do we know about these guys?
I'm a man with a problem. And I don't know how to fix this problem. I'm not getting on that helicopter. Vampires. Robots. What is this?
Think about what we have, what we've had, and what we will have. It's a lot of halves.
Your mistake was seeking out wrestler. You need
It is speculated that these objects are of extraterrestrial origin.
super wrestler.
Man, that is fucking fantastic. That is wild. I can't wait. I wonder, and if he is in the chat, and if not, I will when he comes up later, I will ask him. I wonder, is this going to be on DVD for those of us that can't attend? Is there some way that we're going to be able to see and partake in it? Is this something
Knowing
that could
him,
even be
Ben, it's gonna
even
be on Laserdisc.
Yeah, but but this almost, I wonder if it even translates to DVD, what this is. This is so unique and outside the box. I wonder if it's just one of those live experiences and that it may not. I wonder if it translates on DVD and you get that same feeling. So I'd be curious, and we'll ask him next week. Guess what? I don't have to wait for him to be. He'll be here next week, and I'll be able to ask him, and he'll give us his answer on everything. So look
Billy
forward
Webb will be here next week. And like you said, Ben, he's going to sit through the whole show. So we're going to, it's cutting up on some fun stuff.
And he keeps up on the news. So, he's going to be abreast of things. I'm sure he's got opinions on all kinds of stuff. It'll be fun.
Sometimes it's better to get people who probably aren't abreast of the news and get their
That
natural,
too.
like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what's going on in Tennessee right now, Ben?
Speaking of which, let's get to it.
Wow. Because if you're not offended as an American that believes in democracy and that system of government that's given you everything that you currently have in your life, you're dumb. You're not offended by what's going on. You're dumb. Or you hate black people. Those are your two options.
Those are the options.
The only two options right now. You can plead dumb or you can plead racist. Because and the headline is fantastic because this news literally broke probably 2 hours ago. So it's rare we get to actually cover like true breaking news. But the second of two African American congresspersons have been returned to their position in the Tennessee state government. With Justin Pearson now being returned to the Tennessee House of Representatives after Justin Jones was, I believe, on Monday restored, rightfully voted into his position and conveniently expelled from their position two of three Tennessee House representatives that were threatened to be expelled. These two that were happened to be black. The third was not. And
surprise.
And what were they expelled for? "Quote unquote, violating House rules while demonstrating gun control laws or the severe lack thereof after the Tennessee shooting." And what has happened in between that time and this time right now is another mass shooting that happened in Kentucky in a bank. So pretty ironic that on Monday, the same day Justin Jones gets his rightfully voted seat as a representative of the people, there is a mass shooting. Again, the ironic part is that he was protesting gun control. And that was the reason he was expelled.
I plead a little bit of ignorance here. I know the story. I know that they were expelled over something that seems very stupid and
Very
innocuous.
much so.
And again, it just sheds light, and this is not going to be the only story. I sneak peek. Not going to be the only story that sheds light on the fact that these state legislatures are out of fucking control. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Just the tip of the iceberg. But these state legislatures are, these Republicans that hold control of these state legislatures are emboldened and are willing to do things that you just look at it and go, wait, you're doing what? That looks terrible. The optics of that are awful.
And I'll be very honest with you. I have a little file in my Chrome tab that I'm now going to be saving some stories about current sitting members of the state House of Representatives in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And their backgrounds. And if we're going to talk violations and minute rule violations thereof, for reasons for being expelled from their, again, rightfully voted in seat. So stay tuned for that, folks, because that one's going to be a doozy already. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Promised. But again, this is another situation where, like you were saying, this is a very emboldened and illegal movement by a state house to expel members that were. How many different ways can the GOP, let's just call it out, the GOP find ways to nullify fair elections? How many different ways?
Man, the irony is just not lost on them that they're also the ones screaming about stolen elections, and while simultaneously doing every legal wrangling, looking for every legal and legislative loophole to, do the exact same thing.
We do have another story. It's not about the state I'm about to mention, but Sarah Huckabee, she formerly of the Trump administration, now governor of Arkansas, has signed a horrific number of bills. One allowing child labor, undocumented child labor, making that legal.
Yep.
And then this was just released today that if you actually want to work for her, you have to, there's a spot on the application, the online application, where it says in 500 words or less, state your greatest state your admiration for one of Governor Huckabee's accomplishments. That is literally on the application for employment to work for the governor of a state in this union.
The idea that she is a governor anywhere is insane to me.
It is insane, but she got away with it because she has name value down there. And let's be honest, there's a real divide forming here, right? There's a serious divide, and it's geographically, like, most of it's there, but it's not like I remember it being. Like, I didn't think Ohio was ever going to get, like, red, but holy fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. She wants kiss-ass employees. She wants yes people.
Right.
That's what it is. And then she wants people that will, I don't know,
she doesn't want people challenging her ideology.
Turning a blind eye to unethical behavior, or calling out ridiculous child labor laws.
Dude, that is so ridiculous. The idea that she wanted to make it easier for places to hire children under the age of 16, who they also coincidentally pay less because
and 7 days a
under
week, I believe, 7 days a week.
And people are defending, like, again, I love Texas Ted, but Ted's like, we should be encouraging kids to go out and work as teenagers. Like, I don't believe that. I don't agree with that at all. Like, I think teenagers should be doing teenage things, like forming hobbies and finding out what that is that they truly love to do, and being creative and being artistic and exploring, what it is that they find interesting.
Not working 10-hour days in a field.
Not getting indoctrinated, into the assembly line-esque employee cycle of your worth is only as much as the amount of time you're willing to put in for someone else to, make gobs of profit on.
And that's kind of what it is, right? It's the runaway capitalism.
It's runaway capitalism. It's like of course we want to get kids. We should be encouraging kids to get into the workforce earlier. It's like no, because the workforce is just going to the employers are just going to take advantage of them, and they do it by paying them less. They advertise that they pay children less for the same job.
This is the cycle, right? Said company sees, there's a gubernatorial candidate that might be sympathetic to our insane and unethical ideas to increase profit. We're going to contribute to said gubernatorial effort to election. Oh, look, we've funneled multiple millions of dollars through various charities and PACs into that campaign just to make sure we got the person we want in. And now that we got that person in, well, look at this. This just happens to be great. Look at this. We're going to put kids to work, kids that might have a chance to maybe they have to support their family. Look how great this is, Ben.
Yeah, that's not great.
Teach them the day of what it means to work hard for a day to earn 75 cents or whatever the fuck these poor kids are going to get paid. Like, while then the corporation goes, hey, shareholders, look at the increase in our share price. Look at how much money we just made you. We are now more attractive to a whole bunch of retirement accounts and 401ks for people to kind of put their money invest in us. Look at this. We're making you a whole bunch of money.
Yeah, we bought back stocks, so your stock is actually more valuable now.
That's the vicious cycle. And then said governor gets to run wild, but whatever other crazy ideology they have, because this corporation doesn't give a fuck about anything else, maybe abortion rights, maybe education, healthcare, don't give a fuck, right? Because they got what they wanted, and now kids under the age of 16 can work 7 days a week undocumented.
Gigi's onto something in the chat room. It is this thing that we want the generations after us to be as miserable as we are. We went through it. We had to work. We worked for minimum wage. We worked fast food. So you have to. You should. And I'm sorry. Kids these days aren't interested in that shit. They don't. And there are other ways to make money that don't involve going and working at a fast food place and getting yelled at because you fucked up someone's order.
By somebody who fucked up in their life. No offense to all the good managers of a McDonald's or whatnot, but like, if you're 53 years old and you're supporting a family as a manager of McDonald's, I respect you for working hard, but why are you yelling at kids like when you probably...
But even customers too, like dealing with customers.
Look, people.
Why would if I'm just entering the workforce in 2023, right?
Yeah.
There is zero. Let me repeat: zero chance that I would go into retail or food service. No way. I would find another way to pay my bills. There are a million other ways. I would not put myself in that position. It is a thankless, terrible, awful. Terrible, just awful job. It's
Gen Z is gonna wreck that whole infrastructure of our current idea of what it is to work for a living. Look, if you can, top of the show wrote the song for the show biz. If you're talented enough that you can have a clothing line on the side and make some side hustle, and find a job that you love that might not be as glorious. I'm not putting it, but like you can do something, and maybe with that, like that thing catches that thing. Like there are different ways to make money, and what do you care how somebody makes money? What, you're gonna hate the investment banker because that's not working for a living? Well, they're making money. You're gonna hate the person that is a TikTok influencer and develops a line of T-shirts or coffee mugs or something like that, where they're now there. That's all they do. You're gonna hate that too. So what are we really hating?
Yeah.
What are we upset about?
And listen, I've said this a couple of times. Those that have followed us for a while are going to hear this again and be like, God, he's saying it again. But go to your local Walmart, retail store, fast food place, and look at the employers, or look at the employees, excuse me. The employees are not the younger generation. They're not. They're senior citizens in a lot of cases. There are people in their 40s and 50s that are pushed out. They lost their job in the office, and there are no office jobs for 40 and 50-year-olds. I don't know if people know this or not, but 40 and 50-year-olds don't get hired for office jobs anymore. They get you hire young people for the menial office jobs, right? Because they're going to stay there longer, they're healthier, all those things, right? Like again, this is capitalism.
It's a technology thing too,
and it's a technology thing too, right? They know technology better. They're able to use technology better. All of those things. So those people are pushed to now working those retail jobs, the jobs that that society has always said are jobs that are for kids that are just entering the workforce. No, they are jobs where people are trying to literally survive and pay their bills and feed themselves and sometimes a family working those jobs. Go walk through a retail or food service place and look at and see who the employees are. They're not kids, because kids are not interested in those jobs.
Because that's what we've tricked ourselves or allowed the corporations and big business and government into thinking like that's how you make a living. And I want to welcome Mr. Nick Gerger to the chat. And but dude, I respectfully tell you that I probably misspoke there by pointing out the McDonald's things. And I'm not trying to denigrate people working jobs like that and supporting a family. Dude, all power to you if you are doing that.
But if you're managing a McDonald's, you're probably capable of something better for yourself. Because that's not an easy job. It's not an easy job to manage a McDonald's, truly.
What I was trying to poorly convey, I guess, is that if we had a better system of treating children as opposed to tell them you got to work. No, you can dream, and if you can make that work, let's encourage that. Let's get you into the arts. Let's get you in the draft. Let's expose you to everything we possibly can, other than punching a clock.
So there you go. See, this allows him to also do wrestling on the side, right? So it allows him to do his passion while still working, and that's a whole different situation, right? Because you're following your passion. And that's what we're encouraging, and you're still able to support your family.
So that's the point then, right? You got a gig. It's not what you ever wanted to do in your life, but that's the thing that makes the ends meet for you. But you're still doing the thing that you wanted to do all of your life, right?
Right, and that's what we want to encourage. 14, 15, 16-year-old kids should be exploring what it is they want to do with their life. What are they passionate about? Finding those passions. That's what those years should be about. Not going to work for less than minimum wage so that you can go buy sneakers. You know what I mean?
And so a corporation can save money on their bottom line and increase shareholder value, because that's what you're legitimately talking about in that instance. Exactly. So we want children to dream big. We want them to dream the next Monet, the next Einstein, the next the Obama, the next whatever great orator or scientist, whatever. Maybe the next great Supreme Court justice.
Right.
Oh,
speaking of which,
is that a sensitive topic these days? I don't know. Oh, look at the fancy job. Let's give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Standing round of applause for ProPublica and the great work that they do. Again, a bunch of journalists. Thank you. A bunch of journalists who were let go as their newspapers were absorbed in corporate mergers, and they were cut in the newsroom. Good, legitimate, hardworking journalists have formed a website called ProPublica. This is going on all over the place. Block Club is another huge one, and they're just no longer in Chicago, but they started here. OG Block Club. They did a story late last week that revealed some discrepancies in financial reporting.
What a surprise.
The surprise is that not that this is a government official, is that it was a sitting Supreme Court justice. Now, I'm sure everybody's at least a little bit familiar with this story. Clarence Thomas has been for at least 20 years accepting gifts, expensive, very expensive luxury trips, including mega yachts and exclusive.
How has that been happening?
Years. And to date, all I know of the current, again, sitting Supreme Court justice's response to it is that he didn't know he had to report these things.
Oh, come on.
No, yeah, and let's not forget the same Clarence Thomas who Anita Hill tried to warn us about not once but twice. ProPublica did the dirty work and went through all the tax records as good reporters do, folks. This is journalism. This isn't, I don't know, your friend Jay with a YouTube account, like saying that he did all the research. It is legitimate and sourced material by professionals who have been educated in how to get to the objective truth of the matter. Now, they provide you the information. You just have to actually read it, and they provide their sources best they can, because yes, they probably use anonymous sources, but sometimes that's the only way to get real news, and they would not use an anonymous source unless they vetted the information a different way. So trust that. That is why they go to school for journalism, to learn the ethical rules of the art. Anyway, I didn't know this, but Supreme Court justices only make $285,000 a year.
Only.
Well, okay, now that's a pretty nice salary for a government.
That's a
employee.
very nice salary for being a Supreme Court justice. How busy is a Supreme Court justice?
Well, apparently, if you're not taking global vacations and hanging out in Bohemian Grove,
so apparently not very busy. Because if you're able to do that, you're not very fucking busy.
So apparently, Clarence Thomas has been taking chartered plane rides, vacations.
No conflict of interest here.
162-foot yacht by himself. And what they've kind of put together is one of these trips, just one of these trips, would have cost over $500,000. Now, we are going to state that Clarence Thomas is married to Ginny Thomas, and she might have an income too. I don't know if she's exactly making enough to afford a $500,000 vacation. Again, just one vacation. But it's real interesting to note that Ginny Thomas's political views in this regard. And let's also not forget, Clarence Thomas was the lone dissenting vote when it came down to releasing sensitive data and text messages regarding January 6th, an event that Ginny Thomas, Clarence Thomas's wife, was intimately involved with and was directly texting the chief of staff to the president of the United States. With all that said, it should really bother people that Clarence Thomas has been accepting gifts from a extreme right-wing donor, a billionaire who likes to collect Nazi memorabilia, and including Hitler's paintings. And your friend Ben Shapiro was on there on his fucking bullhorn saying like, oh, well, people sometimes collect the things of things that they hate.
Oh, stop it.
And in what real reality? That'd be like me collecting Ku Klux Klan hats.
Yeah.
Like, right, man, I hate those motherfuckers so much. I got a wall lined up and I show everybody.
Yeah. I show everybody the hoods I have.
Look at those motherfuckers, those assholes. I hate them so much. I put them up on display with cool lighting, and then they're in a glass case that's museum proof and airtight, hermetically sealed. No, you do the things you like. You build cases for toys that remind you of your childhood. Which way? This way. For things that you like. For things that you hate, you don't buy.
Yeah.
So Harlan Crow is the name of this mega donor. They're calling this billionaire who you've never heard of before. But holy shit, does that not sound like a villain's name?
Yes, 100%.
Harlan Crow.
Yeah. Oh, comic book villain for sure.
He's the guy behind the guy who's behind the guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
That's Harlan.
Yeah, the guy
Crow.
way behind the curtain is Harlan Crow.
So much so that now ethics watchdogs are calling for an investigation into this. And when reached out for comment, the Department of Justice had none, which they usually reserve for situations that they're taking a peek at. Now, we've talked about the tortoise-like pace of the Department of Justice lately too, and some of the potential conflicts of interest there. Let's not forget Leonard Leo and his network of fun people and lawyers and judges and who knows who else. But again, one more, like, how do we stand for this? How is this guy able to hold his office?
It's egregious at this point.
And
it's a slap in the face that he is allowed to be a sitting Supreme Court justice. This is an amazing conflict of interest. Then you tack on his wife and her involvement in January 6th and her extreme political views and how there's no way he couldn't be influenced by her views. The sketchy decisions that he has made. I mean, it's just so obvious, but like when you have these appointments that are for life, NWO, that's, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what happens.
But wait, hold on, Ben. Hunter Biden. What about Hunter Biden, Ben?
Oh yeah, Hunter Biden.
What about the Biden crime family, Ben? What about those transsexuals, Ben? What about those drag shows influencing converting my people, Ben? What about those democratic strongholds that allow people just to loot and riot and violence on the streets of Chicago like it's the Wild West every day, Ben? What about the President Trump? He's about
but no, silent. Radio's silent on this egregious. If it was a Democrat and he was left leaning, they would be screaming from the fucking mountaintops.
Oh my God, they would have rioted. Can we argue
they would have long asked for him to been removed from his seat.
I guess we'll see where this goes, but it's really frustrating at this point.
It really is.
It kind of gives you a sense of like, is there some hope here? And I'm not trying to be defeatist because I would hate to do that on a podcast because at this point it'd be like the Jim Jones network and I'll be sending Kool-Aid packets to everybody via the Topic Thunder PO box account. No, we're not trying to do that, but it gets disheartening that like there isn't some sort of movement. There isn't some sort of seismic event. That the last time there was a federal investigation of a Supreme Court justice, I think I forgot the guy's name. It's a real interesting name. You would think I would remember, but it was in 1979. And they didn't even get to complete the investigation because the guy knew he was guilty and he stepped down. He literally resigned his position. Somebody in the world's most dangerous chat room will point that out. But that was the last time. And do we think that Clarence Thomas will fall on the sword?
No.
I don't think so either. This is just weird.
Yeah, I have no reason to believe that. Yeah.
And it's just another one of those things. Like, where's Tucker Carlson on this?
Yeah, nowhere to be found. You won't find this on his. Ben Shapiro is not talking about this. Matt Walsh, not concerned with this.
Not worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We could, this billionaire guy with Nazi beliefs and interests and artifacts and collectibles is hanging out with a Supreme Court justice for the last 20 years and providing luxuries that normally this level of government employee would not have access to. Not a problem. But if J.B. Pritzker was doing it If Gavin, oh wait, they're actually independently wealthy. Probably poor examples, but what if Hunter Biden had his artwork? Oh, cool. Let's look it up.
Yeah.
Let's look into it. Well, let's look into this too.
Speaking
All
of frustrating, Brooks.
Oh well, I am.
Maddening is more what this one.
This is the word unbelievable gets overused at this point,
Sure.
right? This is unbelievable. The gun that was used to murder people, 5 people in a bank, that happened on Monday. Remember, we just talked about this. The AR-15 style rifle, whatever, is being auctioned off under state law.
Yeah, this
A
is
murder weapon. This is evidence in a crime. And it's going to be auctioned off. Thanks, Kentucky. Thanks for your humanism, your foresight, your empathy, and your complete respect for victims of violent gun.
This is a perfect example of a law that was put into place without thinking through all of the different ramifications or ripples that would come with doing something like this. Because you can understand the thought process of the law was any seized gun, any gun that the law enforcement seizes in an investigation or in a raid, whatever the case may be, anything that is taken in by the police department is then auctioned off because yay guns, right? And that is used to raise money to buy things for the law enforcement, to buy their fucking staplers and shit.
No, yeah, staplers. You mean like robot dogs that are going to kill unarmed people and pounce on them on the back. We have gotten no confirmation, but we have feelers out to Harlan Crow to see if he'd be interested at all in bidding for said murder weapon.
Yes, I bet he would. And some fucking gross ass hat is going to be like, oh, I want that. Like, for what?
You know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to buy that weapon with the intent of using it again to kill more, as some because things are just getting weird, right? People are live streaming their murderous rampages, and people are watching it and saving the videos. And then one social media account tries to take it down, another one puts it up. Like it's weird. It's weird out there, folks. Let's just keep the ball rolling. I'm looking at you below the Mason-Dixon line, folk.
Oh, wait, look at this. House Republicans, Missouri House Republicans doing some dumb shit.
Defunding libraries? Could you?
This has something to do with transgenders, doesn't it?
I'm not entirely sure it does. Outside, other than yes, there's apparently an amendment that it gets complicated, right? The people are involved, and the ACLU is involved, and because the Library Association is
here we go. There it is.
Pro bono work from the ACLU. That is why the Missouri legislature is trying to defund I think it's $2.5 billion that their library system uses out of a almost $46 billion budget. They roughly less than $2 billion goes to their library system. And you might be saying, well, Brooks, it's 2023, and what's the use of a library these days? Man, have you gone to one lately? Because if your last vision of a library was like, man, the Dewey Decimal System, I had to pull out the card catalog and try to find the book and then find the number and match up. You haven't been to a library lately.
It's been a while for me because that's what I remember of them. I'll be honest.
This is where people are now able to go who don't have computers or internet access and are able to go online and pay bills, access email accounts if they're looking for jobs. This is where children who don't have maybe sufficient educational resources or materials are going to get those resources and material. This is where people are going to rent movies and videos.
Yeah, it's what exactly. This is where people go to get knowledge, right? And then what this is actively doing is saying we want to suppress your ability to access knowledge that might make you question the bullshit that surrounds you.
Right, and Biz, say no more. Books, video games, computers, like the library system, much like I don't know, like a park district, has value to a community outside of what some people who think just inside their insulated four walls, like, well, I've got internet and my people are fine, blah, blah, blah. Well, again, part of the problem is the empathy thing, right? Thinking outside yourself and thinking like, well, maybe, the minute amount of tax money I pay to this thing might be worth it because it benefits other people. But this is a retaliatory thing, and much like being forcing expulsion or expelling current members, this is another retaliatory thing.
Yes, because I highlighted it in the story.
Yeah.
The bill banned books that were particularly LGBTQ and racial justice themed. I'm telling you how, and I love that you continue to bring these stories to light because it gets me riled up and it allows me to continue hammering this point home. It is all a fucking scam. It is all a scheme that has been being perpetrated on us by conservatives. They got to the Supreme Court, the dark money, the Leonard Leos of the world. They got the Supreme Court justices that they wanted, that got Roe versus Wade overturned and allowed things to be pushed back to the state senates and the state legislatures, and they got ahead of that and insulated those with strong Republican strongholds that allow them to make rules and laws that are archaic and take us backwards, actively take us backwards rather than forwards. This has been the plan. The plan is unfolding in front of all of us. They're defunding libraries. They're kicking people out for speaking up on gun violence. They're doing anything that disrupts the status quo. They are trying to quell, and they're doing it with the PTAs, your local PTA, your school boards. They're not stopping at legislatures. They want to indoctrinate your children with the bullshit too, while simultaneously telling you that they're trying to guard your children from being indoctrinated.
And at the same time, if you dare say something like defund the police, you're gonna set off you're gonna trigger a whole bunch of snowflakes. Right. Even though most cities in America, and I can speak for Chicago, I believe almost more than 40% of Chicago's city budget goes to the police. That is criminal. That is insane. And we've talked all the reasons why. We're not gonna get into that because Ben and I will both go off and we'll be here until 9:30, and that's not cool because we want to eat. We got stuff to talk about.
And we have to talk about Escobar's hippos.
Oh, Ben, we lost a good one.
We just talked about these guys recently.
We lost a good one, Ben. An Escobar hippo was killed in a highway collision in Colombia. First of all, let's
think about that headline.
Right.
Just absorb that headline.
Oh, and just go ahead and start playing through the scenario in your head as we describe a little bit more about what we know about this horrific incident. Can we just scroll down a little bit and show this? This is not what you want to see coming at you.
No. Could you imagine running into that on the highway?
I mean, I would cry. Snot would come out of my nose. I would puke. I would pee, and I would poop myself. Every secretion or anything that could come out of my body would all at the same time if that was headed my way. I fear hippos, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Yeah.
Right. So British Columbia hippopotamus descended from animals illegally brought to Colombia by the late drug cartel kingpin Pablo Escobar has died in a collision with an SUV on a highway near Escobar's hacienda. The hippos, which spread from the estate into nearby rivers and now number more than 100, have no natural predators in Colombia and have been declared an invasive species that could upset the ecosystem.
Dude, it's like snakes in Florida, but it's hippos. They're fucking tanks.
Which weigh as much as 2 tons.
Yeah, they are water rhinoceroses.
Just to refresh your memory, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So it is up to a 4,000 pound animal. I want to know more about the condition of the
run
SUV.
Faster than you.
About like, what did we find out? Like almost like 30 miles an hour or something like that.
I think it was like something like that, 30 or 35, something like that.
You're not outrunning a hippo.
No.
And so we lost a good one. Hippos are really, really cute. When
they don't have they don't have really any natural predators. That's why they're an invasive species. That's why nobody fucks with a hippo. Nobody.
Truly, like lions. Like I think we showed that video of what the hippo did to the lion.
Yeah, Nopesville.
Just
alligators, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, put the lion.
The only predator is automobiles at
high speeds. That's it. That's it. Now said.
Yeah.
Ben, I wanted to talk about my boy Elon, but we're running up against it, and I don't know if I have any more energy for like totally depressing.
All right, well, let's skip it. Fuck them.
So I was going to just kind of jump us to a very odd question.
Yeah.
Ben, can you die from too much soy sauce?
On the surface, I would say no, but the folks at IFL Science are scaring us.
They're saying it's easy to do. We've all heard of death by chocolate, but how would you feel about dying from too much soy sauce? It may sound like a bizarre fate, but in fact, it's not just possible. It's surprisingly easy.
That's a lot of salt, though. Yeah, the sodium. Yeah,
right?
It now makes sense.
When it comes to versatile foods, there's not. Well, I don't want to read a paragraph sucking the dick of soy sauce at this point. If we're going to talk about it being
By the
murderous,
sucking the dick of soy sauce would definitely have been the show name.
Absolutely. We'd have to forgo. Let's see. If you're lucky, soy sauce is surprisingly a condiment. Blah blah blah. Solutions. I did not pre-read much of this.
Drink yourself straight into a coma.
Okay, so there it is. Push the limits of soy sauce, and though you're headed towards it, one 19-year-old man who in 2013 downloaded a quart of the stuff. That's almost a full liter for the metrically minded of you, only to end up comatose in the emergency room. He didn't respond to any of the stimuli that we gave him, the emergency physician David Carlberg said, who treated the soy sauce casualty at the University of Virginia Medical Center in Charlottesville. He had some colonus, which is just elevated reflexes, but basically the nervous system wasn't working well. Too much salt in the blood causes a condition called hypernatremia, in which water moves out of the body's tissues in an attempt to equalize salt levels between them and the blood. It is very dangerous. Not only can it cause fatal fluid buildups in places like the lungs, but as the water leaves the brain, the organ can shrink and bleed, causing neurological symptoms like seizures and unconsciousness.
Nope.
So don't drink a quart of soy sauce.
That sounds that sounds really hard to do with how salty soy sauce is to begin with. Like to just chug a quart of it, like that seems very difficult. You probably should die.
Yeah, this is a Darwin Award material right here at this point because a quart, they described it as slightly less than a liter. We've all gotten those liters of pop from the pizza delivery guy, right?
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
what a liter of RC looks like. Slightly less than that. All soy sauce. Go. Just chug it. We need you to chug this, please.
Yeah, there's definitely something that you don't want to see on like Jackass or something.
Oh,
it seems like something that you would see the Jackass guys do, but like I bet they probably thought of it once, and then like MTV was like, "No, you can actually die from that."
Legal got involved. They're like,
yeah, about that.
Yeah, we're not
gonna
do that, guys. Time for one more video.
You didn't send it. You got to send it to me if you got it.
I did that again to Ryan Hansen. Ryan Hansen got the skinny.
Yes. Okay, yes.
I do have a video sent in by, they call me Biz, our good friend Bijan. And gotta know Biz is a ginormous old school NES video game nerd. Actually, just a Nintendo kind of old school Nintendo guy himself. And he sent me this video. I'll just set it up really quick. It is a live concert of a metal band playing all the music from The Legend of Zelda as a gamer actively speed plays through the entire game.
So someone is playing a video game to the music, and the music is playing to the video game. Kind of.
There are two things going on here, right? One dude is, yeah, this is the best. Just watch, I guess.
Oh, is it echoing? I don't think I hit the thing properly. I bet it's echoing. Everyone's gonna be mad at me. It's echoing, isn't it?
I'm not giving you an echo.
Okay, good.
Yep. That means, because if you're familiar with the game, this dude he's cutting all the corners. There are no extra steps. He's going right where he needs to go. They're just literally, this video is 46 minutes long. He beats Legend of Zelda in 46 minutes. But this band is playing every song as you move from environment to environment. Me, I'd be touching all the graves and be like fucking with all the ghosts. No, this guy's just getting Triforce after Triforce. It's an incredible amount of timing and practice.
To even think of doing this is so cool and insane at the same time.
Show the fight with Ganon. It's literally like the last maybe like minute or so, but it's perfect because it's perfect. It should take you back. There he is, that bastard Ganon. He's a legend of Zelda, Ryan.
He is a legend of Zelda.
That was the guy playing. The gal drinks water now. That guy sat there and sped played 45 minutes without water.
That's crazy. Yeah, he didn't stop for 45 minutes. That I don't know what's more impressive. The guy playing the video game might be the most impressive thing of the whole thing.
Again, that band, it was spot on, hit every single, again, you're moving between environments, they go into different rooms, he's playing different music. That's
all around pretty spectacular.
Absolutely.
Pretty talented.
I'm just looking right now, and I only see like 2 stories for. Luckily there's a cachet, and we don't have to do any kind of delay. Ladies and gentlemen, we know what you're here for. It's called the lightning round, and I normally yell and scream at this point, but you want to be yelling and screaming at this point? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the lightning round. If you're unfamiliar with the lightning round, let me explain how this. We welcome you, the people, into the Thunderdome to vote on 3 stories. Those headlines are read to you, and you vote on them, and then we read the story. And everything is a democracy here, folks. So, yes, it is chosen by the people, for the people. So, folks, you're seeing the Thunderbolts go up in the lightning round, or the Thunderdome right now. So, I guess without dilly or dally, gosh, I hope I haven't done this story before. Here's headline number 1. Man who drinks his own urine clashes with roommate over the smell.
as you would think would happen, yeah.
Headline number 2. Texas woman who ordered hit on son and daughter-in-law in alleged cover-up of her boyfriend's murder has been sentenced.
Jesus, there's a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on there. And headline number 3, yeah, I brought it. It's a bad pick, but headline number 3. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Scientists stunned to see plants grow in soil from the moon. Yeah, again.
It's a 2-story race.
It's a 2-story race, folks. So between headline 1 and 2,
let's hear one more time. There's a lot to unpack in that second.
That second one, it's really kind of dependent on how much you follow on that second story. But folks, here it is.
Oh, there he is. I told you, Billy Wack pops up for the lightning round
always
every week.
Every
week, never misses it.
Represents his democracy. Headline number 1. Man who drinks his own urine clashes with his roommate over the smell. Headline number 2. Texas woman who ordered a hit on her son and daughter-in-law in alleged cover-up of her boyfriend's murder has been sentenced.
That feels like something I'm going to watch on 2020 in a few months.
It's going to be one of those weird documentaries that you folks
on Netflix. Me and Gigi will be all up in that.
Weirdos
will
get off on and watch, and I gotta listen to as I'm playing Civilization or Warcraft over here. So one more time. Well, we got some votes coming in. So number 1, basically, do you want to hear about a guy who drinks his own pee and his roommate's pissed about the smell? Or a Texas woman who just can't stop murdering people she supposedly loves?
By the way, Ryan Hansen, alternate headlines: pissed off roomie.
We got
family squabbles and moon pies.
Billy Wack with another one. Number 1. Get it? Yeah. Yeah. We are not above pee jokes here.
Yeah, and Courtney's obviously not with us tonight, so she can't vote against it.
Yeah, I can't vote against it because she doesn't like excrement talk. But and she would have gotten me because there really wasn't an Ellie on the show. But we kind of skipped right by that one. So shh. But folks, the votes are coming in, and he's going number 1. This is true. Ryan Hansen's voting for number 2. Well, we were going to toast to Dan at the end of the show, but if he was still here, I guess I could have done it during the but it was my dad's birthday yesterday, folks. So
happy birthday, Mike. Oh hell, it's not the same, but
yeah.
Happy birthday, Mike Brooks.
Dad turned 76 yesterday. A good 76 too, because he can hang with the best of them. Trust. And recently met Gigi's family, and they loved it.
How could you not?
How could you not? It's just a man of the people, Dan Brooks. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to my dad.
Looks like number 2 is winning this thing.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, from the looks of it, there were more votes for number 2 than
I don't know. We got a vote for number 2. We got 1 vote for number 1. Ryan Hansen. We have. I don't think Gigi voted. Dad voted for 2.
Yeah. And
Chris.
number 2. I think people are interested in this multi-layered fucking wackiness coming out of Texas.
Well, without any dilly or dally, we'll get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. The headline from our good friends at International Business Times. Of course, it's San Antonio, Texas. Hello. A woman's lengthy capital murder trial, which included significant questions about a defendant's competency to stand trial along the way, ended with a 20-year prison sentence. Ruth Ann Comer was sentenced by a judge last week on April 6th in Bexar County courtroom. The sentence was handed down for more than a decade after Comer's 68-year-old boyfriend was brutally killed in an unsolved 2012 trailer home murder that prosecutors believed was connected to an ensuing 2013 murder for hire plot. Ruth Ann Comer solicited a carnival worker in 2013.
A carny. It has to be a carny.
To kill her son, Jacob Thomas, and his wife. This is a quote. I want Christina gone. If you have to kill Jacob, do it.
Wow.
Comer told this to a carnival worker whose name is Charles Grube. It could also be Grube because it's
probably
Grube.
It's probably Grube.
However, Grube tipped authorities off to the murder for hire plot and agreed on his interactions with the defendant. She also provided him with a handgun after being arrested in 2013 for charges that were dropped in 2014. The case was reopened in 2017 and she was indicted in 2018. December 9, 2022, Comer was found guilty of solicitation of capital murder by a jury. Comer, before her 2013 arrest, had previously been a person of interest in Collins's, her boyfriend's, murder. He was found dead in his Texas home with his throat slit in 2012.
Oh my God.
Comer was the person who claimed to find it that way. The prosecution's theory was against Comer and that she was trying to tie up loose ends after Collins's death, which occurred not long after Comer was written into his will and stood to gain $500,000 because the old man owned a hardware store. The lady was willing to kill her son and daughter-in-law after presumably murdering a man for his money to keep everybody quiet over $500,000.
Directed by Dick Wolf. Yes, this is a Law and Order episode.
This is a Law and Order episode. Authorities have long believed that Comer targeted Moore in the murder for hire plot several months later for a particular reason, to cover up her own involvement in orchestrating Collins's murder. I guess we just have to go ask every carny around Texas around that time, because I guess that's where you go to find murder people. As part of the investigation into Comer's involvement in Collins's murder, the daughter-in-law Moore allegedly told a witness that Comer paid her $10,000 to find somebody to kill Collins. To date, no one has been charged with murdering Jerry Collins.
Yeah, for sure.
So there it is. It got weird, right?
It did. It was twisting and turning, and it definitely inspired some Law and Order stuff. So, yeah, it was good.
Probably not the best lightning round we've ever had, but hey, sometimes maybe that just makes the next one look that much better, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of next one, join us for a
Cannot wait. I am so excited.
Episode. Ladies and gentlemen, next week.
Cannot get here fast enough.
Billy Whack. Uh-oh.
Did I lose? Did we lose Brooks?
Right there. No, I'm hanging on.
Oh, there you go.
Hanging on here. Next week, Billy Whack. Co-creator of Night of the Super Wrestlers, which will be Sunday on April 23rd at Concord Music Hall. Get your tickets by going to concordmusichall.com. Night of the Super Wrestlers, we played it in the beginning. We played the fantastic trailer. So go check that out in the beginning. He will be here for the whole show, ladies and gentlemen. He's a fan of the show. He's a good friend of ours. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Folks, if there's an episode of Topic Thunder to check out, it's next week. Billy Whack in-house. From the deck of the USS Rapapa, it's been Topic Thunder. I'm Brooks. That's Ben. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.